So if you ever had something that you really wanted to believe or you really wanted to install on your subconscious that you just have struggled to actually make real inside your mind and body, well, I learned a process back in the early 2000s called Psych-K. And this process encodes beliefs, positive statements on the subconscious. And I've been using it ever since, and I've been recently re-engaged in using it a lot, and finding it very powerful. And this morning I did the more challenging of the two methods of the Psych-K to install a very important belief on my subconscious, and I feel pretty amazing afterwards. And so I'm going to show you this process. There's a couple different things that you do, but it's a really interesting one. So first, we basically use muscle testing, and I use muscle testing to see whether or not something is true. So like, I'm going to hold my fingers together like this and say a statement like, the sun is round. And because I believe that, it stays true. My finger doesn't pass through. But if the sun is a square, I don't believe it, and the finger passes right through. This is an example of muscle testing. You can do it in other ways as well, but that's how I do it. So I had a belief this morning that I am love inherently, and so I did the belief, and it went through. And so I would want to install the belief, and so I basically decided to do the second method of Psych-K, which is holding my arms out like so, and holding balls of energy, and just kind of feeling sensitivity in the hands. And you hold the arms out, basically just holding that thought, whatever you want to install. The first one I ever did is I am intelligent, 20 some years ago. And today I did I am love. You could do something like I love myself, or I'm going to be a millionaire, or whatever you want to install. You basically just hold that idea and hold your arms out, feeling the sensitivity in the hands, feeling the balls of energy in the hands, and holding that concept. And it can take 2 minutes, it can take an hour for really hard things, but the hands will eventually feel some sort of gravity, and you're not moving them yourselves. They will eventually pull themselves together. And when it starts to happen, it's a really trippy experience, because you're like, my arms are moving and I'm not doing it. And so just wait for that, and just wait and have faith and patience that the belief that you're installing, I am love, whatever it is, will subtly bring the hands together. And over time, they will come together, and finally, they will meet in the middle. And as they meet in the middle, pressing the palms together, you then do the save mechanism, which is like this, fingers touching. They say in Psych-K that this is like file save on the computer. And you hold this for 30 seconds. And then after that, you muscle test again and say, I am love, or whatever it was. And if it's positive, then great, you celebrate. Like, give yourself a big hug, like really like lock that in with excitement, and then go on to the rest of your life. You can do more of them. They say not to do more than 5 a day, but they're powerful. And so feel free to reach out if you have any questions on that. I hope it serves you really well. Oh, and I guess I'll just tell the story of how it originally happened as well, since we're here. I was having basically the worst week of my life down in Mexico, and I was really depressed. I thought that I had just acquired an STI that I really didn't want. And I was in my early 20s, and I was really not feeling good. And one night we were super drunk, and I thought my 2 younger brothers had deserted me. And I just walked out into the desert, and I had a near life-ending experience in the desert there. Luckily, the band Tool and their album Lateralis saved my life, and got on a plane after this, extremely hungover, back to America. And I was sitting next to a guy, and I was literally puking in the bag on the plane. And the guy looks at me and he's like, "You want to feel better?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, Well, I just taught a workshop on this thing called Psych-K down in Mexico, and I could do something for you right now if you want. And so I said, sure, why not? And he said, well, what's something you'd like to install? What's a belief you'd like to believe? And I said, well, I'd like to believe that I'm intelligent, but something has always kept me from believing that and doubting myself. And he said, great. And so we did Psych-K right there on the plane. He did muscle testing on me, found that, yeah, I'm intelligent, was like a no. And he had me do the Psych-K process, and I didn't do the arms out one. I did one where you actually cross the hemispheres of the body and then install the belief by saying, I'm intelligent, I'm intelligent, I'm intelligent, over and over and over. And I felt like a click. Something popped at the end of it. And I opened my eyes and I did the thing that he said. And I looked at him and he's like, how you feel? And I said, I honestly can't believe this, but I don't even feel hungover right now. And I didn't feel hungover for the rest of the day. And I was so shocked by this experience that I immediately went home and I found a Psych-K workshop that weekend, 50 miles away, and I drove there and I took the whole weekend workshop on it, and I've been using it ever since. And it's awesome. It's powerful stuff. So check it out online. I'm sure there's resources on there, and feel free to reach out. Much love.